Alex, we need to talk. Vanessa's voice had that cold, measured tone I'd heard in movies, the one that always meant trouble. I froze mid-step, the coffee cup trembling in my hand. Talk about what? I asked, though I had a bad feeling I already knew. She didn't answer. Instead, she placed a small envelope on the table between us. I blinked. What's this? A gift. For closure, she said, avoiding my eyes. I picked up the envelope. The weight felt heavy. I opened it, unfolded the contents, and my stomach dropped. A check. $30 million. $30 million. I laughed nervously. This is a joke, right? Vanessa finally looked at me. No joke, Alex. Consider it a clean break. I can't be with someone who can't keep up with my world. Keep up, Vanessa, my voice cracked. I thought this was love. It was love, maybe. But love isn't enough. Not for me. I need more. Her words were sharp, cutting through me like glass. I sank into the chair, gripping the check like a lifeline and a noose at the same time. So this is it? You're leaving me because money? Not just money, I just can't waste my life. You'll understand someday. I felt a rush of anger, betrayal, and humiliation. Understand? You're giving me $30 million and expecting me to feel grateful? I feel like a fool. Vanessa shrugged, calm as ever. Some people call it generosity. Others call it karma catching up. I clenched my fists. Karma? For what? Loving you? Exactly. She smiled coldly, then turned and walked away. My heart pounded. I didn't know whether to run after her, scream, or throw the check in the trash. Ryan appeared in the doorway, eyes widening when he saw the envelope in my hand. Holy Alex, what happened? Vanessa, she left me, and I held up the check, gave me this. $30 million. Can you believe it? Ryan whistled low. That's insane. What are you gonna do? I don't know. I dropped my gaze to the table. I feel everything at once. Angry, humiliated, and somehow tempted. Like this changes everything and nothing at the same time. Man, slow down. $30 million isn't just money, it's a storm. You need to think before you touch it. I nodded, though I barely heard him. My mind was racing. Start a business? Run away? Pay her back? Revenge? All I could do was stare at the check, imagining possibilities and consequences. Ryan stepped closer. Alex, whatever you decide, don't let her win. Don't let her control your life, even with a check like that. I know, I muttered. My fingers tightened around the paper. I don't know if I want revenge or to prove myself or just survive this. Silence fell. I felt the weight of the money, the betrayal, and my own uncertain future pressing down on me. My chest tightened, heart hammering. Finally, I whispered to no one in particular. $30 million and a lifetime of questions. What do I even do now? I stared at the check again, torn between resentment and opportunity, anger and curiosity, heartbreak and ambition. It was more than money, it was a choice. And for the first time in a long while, I realized my life had just been shaken to its core. I sat on the edge of my couch, staring at the check like it had sprouted its own gravity. $30 million. Vanessa's gift wasn't just money, it was a trap disguised as generosity. Ryan flopped onto the couch beside me, shaking his head. Man, I've seen a lot, but this is next level. How are you holding up? I ran a hand through my hair. Holding up? Ryan, she just dumped me and threw $30 million at me like it was a consolation prize. I feel, violated, bought, both? He raised an eyebrow. Bought off, huh? Sounds about right. Dude, you can't let that kind of money decide your life for you. I know. I looked at the check again, but what if she intended exactly that? What if she's testing me or mocking me? How am I supposed to react to $30 million from someone who just broke my heart? Ryan leaned back, arms crossed. Then don't react. Think first. You can't rush this. One wrong move and everyone sees you as some rich kid now instead of the guy with actual talent. I laughed bitterly. Talent, huh? My talent's been paying rent and hoping the electricity doesn't get cut off. Suddenly I have $30 million and I'm supposed to what? Start a new life? Ryan smirked. Exactly. Or start a business. Make something real. Leave her in the dust. But don't rush. Money like this comes with complications. Complications, I muttered. I stared at the ceiling. People will envy me. People will try to take advantage. Lawyers, investors, vultures, and worst of all her. Vanessa doesn't just walk away. She manipulates. I know it. Ryan nodded seriously. That's why you need a plan. A real plan. Don't just throw money at something because it feels good or because you want to prove her wrong. I rubbed my temples. I don't even know where to start. Should I revenge her? Expose her somehow? Or use the money wisely and forget her completely? Ryan laughed softly. Revenge? Come on, Alex. You're smarter than that. Use her money to make yourself unstoppable. Then let karma do the rest. That's the adult version of revenge. I leaned back, thinking he had a point. 30 million wasn't just a check, it was freedom, but also a test. Freedom, huh? I've dreamed of starting something big, a startup, maybe. But I've never had real capital. This could actually work. Ryan grinned. Now you're talking, that's the Alex I know. Ambition, not stupidity. You make something out of this, you own your future. And Vanessa? She see what she's really given you. A knot tightened in my stomach. I feel guilty. I shouldn't take it. But if I don't, someone else will. And then it's like she wins again. She wants me trapped in misery, but I can't let her. Not this time. Ryan nudged me. Exactly, she wants control. You take the money, play smart, and you control your life. That's the first step. I folded the check carefully, my mind racing with possibilities. A business independence proof that I could rise from heartbreak. Every scenario felt both terrifying and exciting. You ready for this? Ryan asked quietly. I smiled, faint and tentative. I don't know if I'm ready, but I can't stay the same. I won't. Ryan clapped my shoulder. Good, because fortune's heavy, Alex, but it's heavier if you drop it. I stared at the check one last time, $30 million, a curse or a blessing. I didn't know yet, but one thing was clear, I couldn't ignore it. Not if I wanted to survive and not if I wanted to rise. I never thought $30 million would feel like both a blessing and a responsibility. I stared at my laptop, the screen blank, as if daring me to make the first move. Then there was a knock. Alex Carter? A firm voice asked. I looked up to see a woman in her late 20s, sharp eyes, and a calm confidence I hadn't seen in months. That's me, I said. Mia Reynolds. I hear you're looking to start something big, she said, extending her hand. I shook it, feeling an immediate sense of respect. Yeah, something that matters. Something real. She raised an eyebrow. You've got capital? I hesitated, then nodded. Enough to launch a serious startup. But it's complicated. She smirked. Complicated always makes it interesting. Tell me, I explained in halting words. Vanessa, the breakup, the check. Mia listened without judgment, just curiosity. So you're asking me to help you turn betrayal into a business? She asked. Exactly, but I don't want it to feel dirty. I don't want people to think I'm just using her money for revenge. Mia nodded thoughtfully. Smart. Then the challenge is twofold. Make it succeed and make it ethical. Can you do that? I have to try, I said. I can't waste this chance. We sat for hours, bouncing ideas back and forth. Tech? Or something more service-based? She asked. Tech. I've always dreamed of launching a startup that actually changes people's lives, I said. Good, Mia said, tapping her pen. But you're impulsive. That kind of capital can burn fast if you're not careful. You need structure, strategy, and a team you trust. I know, I admitted. I've never had this kind of funding before. I've never had a real partner either. You'll have me, she said, smiling. But you'll have to earn my trust every step of the way. I nodded, feeling the first spark of hope in weeks. Deal. But there's one moral thing. The money came from Vanessa. I don't want it publicly tied to her. Not for optics, not for revenge. Mia leaned back, considering. Then it stays in the background. Use it wisely, don't advertise the source, and focus on building value. People respect integrity more than scandal. I felt a weight lift. That's exactly what I want. To prove I can do this on my terms. Then let's start with a plan. Product idea, market research, projections, Mia said, opening her notebook. I'll handle the structure, you handle the vision. I smiled, a genuine grin. I can do that. I've dreamed of this. Finally, I can build something without limits, without her shadow controlling me. She laughed softly. Good, because a dream without execution is just imagination, and Alex's dreams are worthless without discipline. I chuckled, noted, so we start tomorrow? Tomorrow, she said firmly. But tonight, think about your vision. What problem do you really want to solve? Because if we do this, we do it for impact, not revenge. I stared at the ceiling, heart pounding. This wasn't just money anymore. This was a chance to redefine my life, to turn heartbreak into creation. And for the first time since Vanessa left, I felt in control. I've got it, I whispered. I know what I want. And I'm not letting anyone, not even her, stand in the way. Mia smiled, standing. Good, tomorrow, we plant the seeds. And trust me, they'll grow faster than you think. I closed my laptop, feeling the weight of responsibility but also the thrill of possibility. Vanessa had left me 30 million, and now I was about to turn it into something that was mine, fully mine. The city felt smaller the moment I stepped out of my apartment lobby. Whispers followed me even if people didn't know my name. 30 million had a way of making the world watch you more closely than ever. I got a text from Ryan. Meeting tonight? Heard some rumors about you. I stared at the screen, heart tightening. Rumors? Already? I muttered. He knew I'd been avoiding social circles since Vanessa left. Better we talk before you get blindsided, I typed back. We met at our usual diner. Ryan leaned in immediately. So there's Daniel Whitman, I frowned. Who? Rich investor type. Heard about your sudden fortune. He's curious, and the kind of curiosity that can ruin you if you're not careful. I laughed nervously. Curiosity? More like envy. Everyone wants a piece of you when money shows up. I feel like a target. Ryan's voice was low. Exactly. That's why you need to be careful. Daniel isn't exactly subtle. He doesn't approach, he probes. Later that week, I got the call. Alex Carter? A deep, smooth voice asked. Speaking, I said cautiously. Daniel Whitman, I've been hearing fascinating things about you. I forced a casual tone. Oh, like what? Your sudden rise. 30 million, a startup. Impressive for someone your age. There was a pause, a faint smirk in his voice. I like watching new talent see if they survive the game. I felt a jolt of both irritation and adrenaline. And what if I do? Then you become someone to watch closely, he said. And someone I might invest in if you prove worthy. I hung up, heart racing. Ryan's warning echoed. See? Not subtle, and he's testing you already. Don't let him get under your skin. I paced my office, staring at the city lights. Under my skin? He doesn't even know what's at stake. But maybe he's right. I have to prove myself. Not for him, not for Vanessa. For me, even as I thought that, I felt a twinge of paranoia. Is Vanessa behind this somehow? Is she spreading stories, trying to see me stumble? I shook my head. The idea was irrational, but my emotions weren't rational lately. Ryan came by later. You're overthinking, man. Daniel's sharp. Yeah. But you're sharper. Just focus on the startup, not the gossip. I rubbed my temples. I know. But every move feels scrutinized. I feel like she's still pulling strings, even from a distance. Then ignore her. Ryan said firmly. Control what you can, Alex. You can't stop the world from talking, but you can make them respect you for what you do. I nodded, but couldn't shake the unease. Respect, control. Prove myself. That's all that matters. Not her, not Daniel, not the whispers. Over the next few days, every email, every meeting, every casual greeting felt loaded. Investors glancing at me differently, colleagues whispering. My mind spiraled. Are they judging me for the money, or for being someone who survived betrayal? By Friday, I confronted myself in the mirror. Stop letting her shadow control you. Use it as fuel, not fear. I clenched my jaw, straightened my tie. Daniel can watch. Let him. He'll see what I'm made of soon enough. Ryan called that evening. You good? Yeah, I said, though my voice was firmer than I felt. I'm good. The whispers, the shadows, they don't matter. I've got the startup, I've got a plan. Let the world talk. That's the Alex I know, Ryan said, eyes forward. Money's heavy, but it's heavier if you let paranoia weigh you down. I hung up and stared at my reflection one last time. The city lights shimmered like judgment, envy, an opportunity all at once. I felt the pressure of scrutiny, but also the thrill of proving myself. And somewhere deep down, I realized Vanessa's manipulations might still be there, but they wouldn't define me. Not anymore. I wasn't expecting the email. Mr. Carter, would you join me for coffee? Evelyn Drake. I stared at the screen, heart thumping. Vanessa's aunt? Why now? Why me? Ryan peered over my shoulder. You're meeting her? I think I have to, I muttered. Something tells me this isn't casual. Then watch yourself. People like her don't invite you for small talk, Ryan warned. The cafe smelled of roasted beans and quiet conversations. Evelyn sat at a corner table, posture straight, a calm authority radiating from her. She gestured to the empty chair. Mr. Carter, she said smoothly. Please sit. Alex, I corrected automatically, sliding in. Thank you for inviting me. She smiled faintly, eyes sharp. I've been observing your recent endeavors. Very interesting. Observing? My stomach twisted. You mean Vanessa told you about me? Perhaps. Or perhaps I just keep an eye on talent worth noticing, she said lightly, her tone measured, almost teasing. I swallowed. So what's this about? Advice? Warning? Evelyn leaned back, studying me. Neither, strictly speaking, I'm assessing character. I've seen people rise and fall, some due to fortune, others due to pride. You strike me as someone who could go either way. I laughed nervously. I'm just trying to survive this mess. Vanessa left. 30 million landed in my lap. Now I have to decide whether to sink or swim. She nodded, fingers lightly tapping the table. Survival is one thing. Growth is another. What you choose now will define not just your startup but your life. I frowned. You make it sound ominous. Life is. She sipped her coffee. I want to know if you're someone who thrives under pressure or someone who lets it consume them. You've been tested: public scrutiny, betrayal, wealth thrown at you. How do you respond? I try to stay focused, I said. But it's hard. Every move feels watched. Every decision feels like it could ruin me or make me everything. She studied me silently. And Vanessa? She's part of the past. I can't let her influence me, but I won't lie, her presence lingers in my decisions. That's the truth. Evelyn smiled, faintly approving. Honesty is a good start. Most people lie to themselves. Most crumble before their own pride. You seem aware of your weaknesses. That awareness could be your strength. I leaned forward. Are you testing me? Judging whether I deserve success. In a manner of speaking, she said, tone neutral. But not all tests are obvious. Some opportunities are wrapped in conversation, coffee, or observation. I wanted to see how you respond naturally. I exhaled, trying to steady my racing thoughts. So what now? Do you give advice? Or is this just assessment? Consider it an introduction, she said, standing. I may offer guidance later, or not. That depends on how your journey unfolds. Keep in mind, Alex, the world rewards those who earn trust, not those who demand it. I nodded, feeling both respect and unease. I understand. Thank you for your time. Time is precious, she said. Use yours wisely. And remember, fortune, betrayal, and opportunity often arrive together. How you handle them will shape your future. I watched her leave, a calm authority walking out of the cafe, leaving me with a mix of admiration and tension. Her words lingered. Observation, assessment, opportunity, danger. I sat back, heart racing, staring at the empty chair. Evelyn Drake had just entered my life, quietly, and I realized this was more than coffee. This was a test. And somehow, I knew the stakes were higher than any $30 million check could ever represent. The office felt colder than usual. My laptop pinged with a notification and email I wasn't supposed to see. Alex, you've got to look at this, Ryan said, sliding a tablet across the table. I frowned, opening the link. My stomach dropped. Confidential startup plans, our product roadmap, strategic meetings. All leaked. I slammed the laptop shut. Someone leaked everything. Every detail we worked on, every risk we calculated. Gone. Out there. Ryan's eyes widened. Holy Alex, do you have any idea who? I have suspicions, I muttered. Anger surged. But it's too much. I trusted them. Everyone in my circle, and this is what happens. Mia appeared in the doorway, her brow furrowed. Alex, I heard. Is it serious? I glared. Serious? Mia, this could ruin us. Months of work. Years of planning, and it's internal, someone we trusted. She crossed her arms. Then we deal with it. Panic doesn't fix betrayal. Did you check the source? I shook my head, voice tight. Not yet, but I know where to start. Sophia Lane, she had access. She had the contacts, and I can't believe it. Mia's eyes narrowed. Sophia? She? Are you sure? I don't want to be sure, I admitted, but the timing, the access, it fits. And I saw her messaging investors unusually aggressively last week. Mia sighed. This is where trust matters most, Alex. You either confront her or let karma do the work. But either way, your reaction defines you, not her mistake. I paced the office, hands shaking. Let karma? Mia, this isn't just minor. Someone could copy, replicate, and beat us to market. We could lose everything, Ryan chimed in. Then confront her carefully. Don't get emotional. Get facts. Play smart, Alex. Don't let betrayal make you reckless. I ran my hands through my hair. Reckless is exactly how I feel. My whole team, my startup, maybe everything we've built is compromised. And it's all because someone I trusted couldn't keep their mouth shut. Mia stepped closer. Focus on control. Control what you can. The leak is bad, yes. But how you respond can turn it into opportunity. Strength under pressure, Alex. That's what separates winners from everything else. I exhaled sharply, pacing faster. I want revenge. I want to call her out publicly, humiliate her, make her regret it. Mia shook her head firmly. No, that's a trap. You act out of anger, you lose. You act with precision, you gain. Think strategically, not emotionally. Ryan leaned against the wall, calm but tense. You also have to ask yourself, why? Why would she do this? Understanding motive can give you leverage. I stopped, heart racing. Vanessa, no, that's insane. I can't. I shook my head. It's not her. It's Sophia. But the thought, it's impossible to ignore. The betrayal feels personal, like it's stitched into everything I care about. Mia placed a hand on my shoulder. Then act decisively. Investigate. Protect your startup. And remember, Alex. Sometimes the person you least suspect is the one who teaches you the harshest lessons. I sank into my chair, gripping the edge. Lessons right. But this one hurts deeper than any failed launch, any investor rejection. I don't know if I can trust anyone fully again. Ryan glanced at me, voice soft. You can trust yourself. That's all that matters right now. I stared at the ceiling, mind spinning, heart pounding. Betrayal, ethics, trust, everything blurred together. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew the confrontation with Sophia would define more than just this startup. I whispered to no one in particular. How could someone I considered a friend do this? Silence answered me. And for the first time since Vanessa, I felt truly alone. I paced the office, mind spinning faster than the city outside my window. Betrayal had a taste, and I wasn't about to swallow it quietly. Daniel, Whitman, Sophia, they both underestimated me. I wasn't about to make the same mistake twice. Mia entered, eyes sharp. Alex, you're pacing again. You need to focus, not obsess. I can't help it, I muttered. Every move I make feels like it's being watched. Daniel Whitman is circling like a shark, and Sophia, she's already damaged us. I have to hit back before they strike again. Mia frowned. Back? You mean revenge? I clenched my fists. Subtle revenge, not reckless. But I need them to know crossing me has consequences. I need to protect our startup, Mia sighed, pacing beside me. Alex, think. You can't let anger dictate your strategy. Your obsession will cost more than them. Have you considered the optics, the long-term effect? I have. That's why it's subtle, I said. Daniel thinks I'm inexperienced. Sophia thinks I'll crumble emotionally. They'd both misjudge me, and I'll make sure they regret it quietly. She studied me. Quietly doesn't mean morally. Are you okay with the line you're about to cross? I shook my head, frustration bubbling. I don't know. I can't let them walk over me. I can't let their arrogance dictate my future. Every plan, every projection, it's all for survival now. And survival means acting. Mia's voice softened. Acting strategically, yes. Acting impulsively, no. Remember why we started this. Not just money, not just revenge. You wanted to build something meaningful. I nodded slowly, swallowing the rage that threatened to overpower me. I know, and I will. But Daniel, he needs a reminder that I exist. And Sophia, I need her betrayal to cost her. Not publicly, just consequences she can't avoid. Ryan called from his end of the office. Alex, Daniel's latest maneuver, he's trying to poach one of our advisors. We can't let that slide. I rubbed my temples. Then we plan. We tighten our team, reinforce trust. Daniel won't get a single advantage. Every move we make precise. Every decision calculated, Mia frowned. You're obsessed. And it's dangerous. Remember, emotional stability is part of leadership. You can't let vendettas cloud judgment. One wrong step and you're the one in danger. I know, I admitted. But it's not just about business anymore, it's personal. Every setback Daniel tries to inflict, every leak Sophia facilitates, I feel like I have to respond, or we lose more than money. We lose credibility, trust, respect. She nodded slowly, then respond strategically, not emotionally. That's how you reclaim control without becoming the person you hate. I exhaled sharply. You're right. I can't let them see me crumble. I need to turn this tension into action, growth, and resilience. Every setback, every attack, it's fuel. Hours later, I reviewed projections, tightening our launch strategy. Ryan and Mia worked around me, carefully, while I plotted subtle counters to Daniel's influence and prepared contingency plans for Sophia's potential next move. I muttered under my breath, obsession and adrenaline tangled together. They'll learn. Every underestimation, every betrayal. They'll see what happens when you push the wrong person too far. Mia glanced at me, concern evident. Alex, remember? It's about growth too. Don't let revenge overshadow the bigger picture. I nodded, heart pounding. I know. But for the first strike, subtle, quiet, precise. And then we move forward. Always forward. The city lights outside glimmered like judgment and opportunity intertwined. My first strike was ready. I just hoped I could keep control and not let myself become the danger I feared. I should have known she wouldn't disappear entirely. Vanessa had a way of slipping into shadows, watching, waiting. And now the first subtle signs appeared. Ryan stormed into the office, waving his phone. Alex, you're not going to believe this. Vanessa's been at it again. Rumors about our startup, small investors pulling out, whispers about you. She's trying to manipulate the narrative. I slammed my hand on the desk. Damn it, I thought I could escape her. But no, she wants to control the chaos, even from a distance. Ryan raised an eyebrow. You really can't get her out of your head, can you? I can and I will. But right now, it's a battle of wits and patience. I can't react emotionally. Not this time. Mia appeared behind us. You look tense. What's happening? Vanessa, I muttered, rubbing my temples. She's back subtly. Whisper campaigns, manipulating perception. It's small but calculated. Mia frowned. And you're upset? Of course I'm upset, but more than that, I'm determined. I won't let her define me or my startup. This time I rise above. I play smart, not reactive. Ryan smirked. Smart? You pacing, muttering, and glaring at emails doesn't exactly scream Zen master. I shot him a glare. I have a plan. But it requires focus, control, and not letting her get inside my head. Mia gave a small smile. Good. Focus, strategy, control. Those are your weapons now. Anger is a liability, Alex. I nodded, swallowing my pride. You're right. I need to act, not overthink. But every time I see her name, my blood boils. Ryan laughed. Yeah. Just remember she's only dangerous if you let her be, and maybe a little humor helps. Keeps you human while you're plotting world domination. I chuckled, despite the tension. Fine, humor, but revenge or growth? Mia leaned forward, tone soft. Growth. Always. Vanessa's past manipulations don't define your future. Your decisions now will. Every choice, every step is either for revenge or self-growth. You can't do both effectively. I exhaled, heart racing. Self-growth. Right, I've been through enough. Betrayal, lies, manipulation. I won't let it break me. But she's going to learn she can't touch me anymore. Not directly. Not subtly. Ryan nudged me. See, that's the spirit. Just remember coffee with Evelyn last week? Her advice wasn't casual. You've got guidance, insight, use it, channel it. Don't get lost in the shadows Vanessa casts. I nodded slowly. Evelyn's words came back to me. Observation, assessment, trust earned, not demanded. Subtle, indirect guidance, but powerful. It gave me clarity I hadn't had since the check arrived. I get it, I whispered. I focus on what I control, my startup, my team, my vision. She can whisper, manipulate, watch, but she can't touch what I build from here on out. Mia smiled faintly. Exactly. And if she tries, we adapt. We're stronger now. Ryan leaned back, mock serious. Stronger and occasionally hilarious. Never underestimate the power of a well-timed joke to offset stress. I laughed, tension easing slightly. All right, fine, humor included. But one thing's certain, Vanessa won't define me anymore. Her shadow may linger, but my light, my ambition, will outshine it. Ryan clapped my shoulder. Now that's the Alex I know. Shadows are scary, sure, but light wins, my friend. I stared out the window, city lights flickering like possibilities. Anger, hurt, and determination warred within me. But this time I would rise above. I would grow. And Vanessa's schemes? They were just another test I was ready to pass. I watched the news of Sophia's blunder scroll across my laptop, a grim smile tugging at my lips. Her betrayal had set the dominoes in motion, and the first few had already fallen. Ryan peered over my shoulder. Looks like Karma's got a fast-track delivery, huh? I nodded slowly. I didn't do anything. I just stayed focused. And now she's unraveling on her own. Investors pulling out, credibility slipping. It's almost poetic. Mia appeared, concern in her eyes. Poetic, maybe. But don't mistake it for satisfaction. Karma works, yes, but your moral compass matters more. I leaned back, fingers steepled. I know. But I can't deny it feels right. She made her choices. The consequences are hers. I just observe. Ryan smirked. You're acting like some silent overseer, all calm while the chaos unfolds. Remind me not to cross you. I chuckled lightly. Quiet observation, Ryan. That's all. I learned the hard way reacting emotionally only hurts you. Let the universe handle the rest. Then came Daniel, another email, another setback. His ambitious attempt to poach our advisors had failed spectacularly. One misstep, a poorly timed investment, and the board was questioning his leadership. I tapped my fingers, watching him flounder. Daniel always overestimates. I didn't push. I just maneuvered subtly, and now he's feeling the pressure. Mia frowned. It's working, yes, but are you comfortable watching them struggle? That line between justice and revenge, it's blurry. I stared out the window, city lights reflecting off my desk. I think about it, constantly. Every victory over them feels justified. But part of me worries I'm leaning too heavily into satisfaction, not morality. Ryan nudged my shoulder. Then remind yourself, you're not creating the consequences. They are creating their own. You're simply staying a step ahead. I sighed. True, Sophia leaked. Daniel miscalculated. Vanessa, she still lurks. My role is just to stay grounded, keep building. Karma is poetic, but my focus must remain on creation, not vengeance. An email pinged Sophia's latest attempt to spin a narrative backfired. Investors were openly criticizing her decisions. Another small victory, subtle but satisfying. Look at this, I murmured, showing Mia. She's losing her edge. Every lie, every misstep unfolding naturally, Mia nodded. You're learning, Alex. Observe, reflect, and let morality guide your next steps. Don't let poetic justice cloud judgment or ambition. I smiled faintly. I'm learning, but it's hard not to feel vindicated. All those sleepless nights, trust broken seeing consequences without my hand in them is powerful. Ryan leaned back, grinning. Powerful and healthy, apparently. You're like a chess master watching the pieces move themselves. Just keep your ethics intact, yeah? I chuckled softly, tension easing. I will. Observing their downfall doesn't mean I celebrate their pain. It's a reminder choices have consequences. And I intend to make mine count, in business, in life. The phone buzzed, another investor call, another small slip for Daniel. Another email from Sophia filled with excuses. I watched, heart steady, mind sharp. I whispered to myself, poetic justice, yes. But my focus, my growth, that's the real victory. Mia glanced at me, faint smile. Exactly. Let karma do its work while you build yours. That's true power. And for the first time since Vanessa, I felt control, clarity, and a strange calm satisfaction. Karma moved on its own, but I was moving faster. The door opened, and there she was. Vanessa. My chest tightened, but I forced calm. I didn't flinch, didn't show the storm I'd carried for months. Alex, she said, voice soft, almost coaxing. We need to talk. I raised an eyebrow. We do? Funny, I think I've already said everything I needed to say. Her lips tightened. I've been watching. Your startup, it's thriving. Everything I doubted, everything I thought you'd fail at, you've proven me wrong. I crossed my arms. And yet you're here. For what? To remind me of the past? Vanessa stepped closer, eyes pleading. No, I wanted a second chance. Maybe to fix what I broke. I laughed, a hollow sound. Fix what? You left. You handed me 30 million, like it was a consolation prize. You betrayed me emotionally, manipulated situations, and now you think a few words can change that? She flinched. I didn't realize the impact. Didn't realize? I cut in sharply. Vanessa, you never realized. You never cared enough to notice until it was too late. I spent months rebuilding, strategizing, trusting only those who proved themselves. And now I paused, letting my gaze sweep over her. I'm not the same man you walked away from. Vanessa's eyes glistened. I see that. I wanted to be part of it. Part of you. But I see now I was too late. I took a slow breath, recalling Evelyn's words from weeks ago. Observation, assessment, trust earned, not demanded. Strength under pressure. Her guidance had sharpened me more than any anger ever could. You know, I said quietly, voice steady, I thought about revenge. Thought about making you regret everything. But I realized that wouldn't change me. It wouldn't grow me. It would just tie me back to the past, and I refuse. Vanessa's shoulders slumped. So you forgive me? I shook my head slightly. No. Forgiveness implies reconciliation. I'm beyond that. I've grown past the pain you caused. You don't get to participate in my growth. You get reflection. You see the consequences of your choices, finally, and it's too late to change them. Her lips quivered. Alex, stop, I said firmly, holding up a hand. You don't get to dictate the narrative anymore. I do. Every decision from here on mine. My startup, my life, my future. Not yours. Not anyone else's. She swallowed hard. I thought I had time. I thought. You never did, I interrupted. Time is for those who act with clarity, who build, who earn trust. You squandered it. I didn't. I watched as realization washed over her face, rage, regret, a flicker of pain. She'd finally understood what I had endured, the miles I'd walked alone to reach this point. But her realization came too late. I'm sorry, Alex, she whispered. I know, I said, and that's enough acknowledgement. You don't get pity or reconciliation. You get closure. Mine. She nodded slowly, silence filling the space between us. I didn't soften. I didn't turn away. I simply let her presence fade into the past where it belonged. Ryan's voice buzzed in my pocket, a reminder of the present. Mia's subtle notes, Evelyn's guidance. The months of building and surviving all converged into clarity. I was free, independent, strong. Vanessa finally turned to leave, her head bowed. I watched her go, a weight lifting off my chest, a storm dissipating in the calm. I exhaled, letting the tension drain. This is mine, I murmured to myself. Every choice, every victory, it belongs to me, not her, not Daniel, not Sophia, me. The room felt lighter, the air clearer. My reflection in the glass didn't show the man she left behind. It showed the man I became. Stronger, focused, free from shadows, free from manipulation. I smiled faintly, a quiet, determined smile. And from here I rise. For myself, fully, completely. No one controls my story but me. The cafe was quieter than I remembered, early morning sunlight streaming through the windows. I arrived first, a deliberate choice this time. No shadows, no manipulations, just me. Evelyn appeared moments later, her calm presence filling the space. She smiled faintly. Alex, on your terms. I nodded, motioning to the seat across from her. Yes, on my terms. This time I decide the pace, the conversation, the focus. She raised an eyebrow, intrigued. And what focus would that be? I leaned forward, resting my hands on the table. Reflection, lessons, what I've learned and how I've changed. After everything Vanessa, Sophia, Daniel, I realized my growth didn't come from revenge or from reacting. It came from choosing my path, controlling my narrative. Evelyn sipped her coffee, eyes thoughtful. Good. Recognition of one's own journey is rare. Most people dwell on past grievances, letting them dictate their lives. I smiled faintly. I've been there. Too often. But I realized anger only chains you to the past. Observation, patience, strategy, those set you free. She nodded. And your moral compass? Did it guide you well? I paused, thinking of Sophia's downfall, Daniel's setbacks, Vanessa's belated realization. It did. I didn't seek revenge. I didn't humiliate anyone publicly. I let their actions unfold naturally while I focused on growth. That balance, it was the hardest lesson. Evelyn's lips curved. And yet you learned it. That's progress, Alex. True progress. I chuckled softly. Progress, yes. And friendship helped too. Ryan, Mia, they reminded me I wasn't alone. Loyalty isn't just a word. It's action, support, and occasionally comic relief. As if on cue, Ryan and Mia appeared, balancing a mix of energy and warmth. Ryan smirked. Did someone mention comic relief? I laughed, the tension easing. Exactly. I couldn't have done it without you two. Strategic insight, moral grounding, and ridiculous timing, you guys were the anchor. Mia smiled. And you, Alex, learned to channel your emotions without letting them control you. That was the real transformation. I leaned back, reflecting on the journey. From $30 million handed to me, betrayal, subtle manipulation, to building something real, I've learned about trust, patience, and self-respect. I've learned that closure isn't about forcing forgiveness or proving anything to others. It's about understanding your own worth and moving forward on your terms. Evelyn studied me quietly. And do you feel free? I exhaled, letting the words settle. I do. Free from anger, from past manipulation, from expectations set by others. I've built not just a startup, but resilience, confidence, and clarity. My story isn't dictated by anyone but me. Ryan raised his cup. To Alex, finally free and maybe a little scary in the best way. I laughed, clinking my cup lightly with theirs. Scary maybe, but ready for whatever comes next. Whether it's business, life, or challenges, I know I can handle them. Evelyn leaned back, her eyes gentle. You've grown in ways that fortune alone cannot teach. You've faced betrayal, watched karma unfold, and still emerged with integrity intact. That is rare, I nodded. Integrity and growth, that's my real fortune. And while shadows like Vanessa or Daniel will linger in memory, they no longer define me. I define myself. Mia smiled softly. And that's the power of self-awareness, Alex. You've transformed fear, hurt, and anger into purpose and clarity. That's something money or influence can't buy. The sunlight warmed my face as I took a deep breath. Closure doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean the past vanishes. It means understanding, learning, and moving forward without carrying unnecessary weight. And right now I feel ready for anything. Evelyn nodded, rising gracefully. Then your journey continues stronger, wiser, and in your control. Remember this clarity, Alex. Life will test it, but you've built the foundation well. I watched her leave, the cafe quieter again. But this time, the silence wasn't tense, it was full of potential, growth, and quiet triumph. Ryan nudged me. Ready to conquer the next chapter? I smiled, feeling the weight lift completely. Yes, fully, confident, and finally free.